Welcome to Times India TV. Today we have a topic. Peace. Actually, it is supposed to be a debate, but it is going like a discussion. Because in a debate, one has to support and one has to oppose. But when it is war and peace, no one is ready to support war. Because we all want peace, peaceful life. So rather a debate, it's going to be like a discussion where everyone can feel happy. All the people we are expecting through this program, we are promoting harmony. Through this program, we are promoting prosperity. We are promoting peace because God blessed each and everyone to live happily. So that is our motto through this program. We are spreading that message, a peace message. War versus peace. So, in this program today, we have some eminent people. Professor Nada, an international speaker and a philosopher, and Dr. Parin Somani from UK, a woman leader who needs no introduction. Having her presence really, it made a wonderful program. And one more eminent personality, Professor Dr. Vijay Carlin ma'am, who is an address to humanity. Through her Life Foundation, she is doing unmatchable charity services. Really, kudos to our team today who joined, three eminent women leaders, really speaking on war and peace in the context of Ukraine and Russia war. So let's start the program. We start this program today with by knowing the importance of peace. Why peace? Because we can see in the present scenario, all are speaking on peace, 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 peace. Yes, one should know why world peace. Because the importance of peace is known to the people, those who are living at the borders. Because they know what is violence. Because they experience everyday war or war scenario. So, of course, we may not like that, fortunately. But it is our responsibility to address the issues because today it may near the borders, but tomorrow it can take any place. For example, if you see what is happening in Russia and Ukraine, that is a better example. So in this context, we should not ignore the war. So we have to discuss. We have to discuss and find out possible solutions in spreading the peace. So we have Professor Nada to address first on this, why peace is important in the present scenario. Over to you, Nadaji.
Good evening. Greetings from Croatia. Why is peace important? How can we live without peace? Peace in our soul, peace all around. Today, we can say in many countries there is still war. The war from Ukraine and Russia today is 6 months from the start of the war. How can we sleep? How we feel? I'm living in the middle of Europe. I'm very close to this countries. I'm close to the people, and this devastating this war has a big impact on the health, on the people, on the Ukraine's people, and all of us. And how can they survive? How can they manage? And today we are here to find a solution. How can we help these people to live in the peace? We know that United Nations have the biggest role in the world for the peace, but our appreciation, our approach, our humanity, how can we help? That is the question today. So I'm sure that we will find solutions today because we have great women leaders, great personalities.
Yes, we'll go to Dr. Parin Somani ji for knowing the answer. Why is world peace important in the present scenario?
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much, Dr. Raja Rao, and all my colleagues to have me here. Very warm greeting from United Kingdom um, is very important, not in the world, everywhere in the world. So world peace is a vital to achieve an ideal of freedom, peace, and happiness between nation and people within societies. So war results in immense loss, fear, unnecessary lives, insecurity, suffering due to the colossal amount of amount of violence around the place. So the concept of the war can result a lack of food and water, economic difficulties, and a rise in cost of living globally, not just in a one place, but in globally. So if not one country is affected, everybody will be affected. So if you look at it, the war can be a difficult. So we need to harmonize the peace. There are horrific, long-lasting effects within countries of war, and those attempting to aid them towards the peace. So it is a vital to achieve world peace to overcome challenges, provide solution to the difficulties what the people are facing. So simultaneously helping towards the society can prevent future problems. So peace is very, very important in each and everyone's life. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind answer. Now let us see it from the perception of Professor Dr. Vijay Carolyn, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening to all the eminent leaders who joined the debate. Thank you. I'm Dr. Carolyn. Good evening to all the viewers for taking part in this great debate. According to me, world peace is very important because we born on this earth to attain peace and to lead a harmonious life. So world peace is very, very important because if there is no peace, violence and conflicts, the lives of the human will be in devastating state. And many of the women and children, young children, who are the future of the nation and the world, their lives are in very frustrating and they're losing their lives, a precious life. So, and economic status of every nation will be in down state and it will be declined and the lives of the people will be in a devastating. So it is very important to have a peaceful life is our right, the human right. So not only nation peace, world peace is important. If one nation is peaceful, the world will be peaceful. So it is the responsibility of every human being to help in developing peace in the world.
So great, man. That's so great. Actually, today we are talking about peace in the context of Russia and Ukraine. So we know what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. It's a very pathetic situation. Maybe I'm thinking that it can lead to Third World War. So here, two questions. Nanaji, the first question is, how do you see the war between Russia and Ukraine? And how close are we to Third World War? What is your opinion in these two concepts?
What is my opinion? I want to say that when we get up in the morning, and when we listen to the radio, when we read the newspapers, the first news is the war in Ukraine and Russia, and we are really confronted. We all human people on the world with that sad news. As Miss Caroline and Dr. Parin said, a lot of violence, crime, disasters, and that is very hard. How I see the situation. The situation is hard. There is no results of the negotiation between Ukraine and Russia. But we have the NATO, we have the big forces around, USA, China, and it had a big impact on the biggest. I can say that what will do the United States of America? What will make China? Who will make the first step? So it depends. The World War III really can happen, but it depends who will start first and who has the interest. And you see that China, China is on the side of United States of America. Here, America is still not doing nothing. NATO is giving us support to the Ukraine. So repeat again, economical, political. We have now information that from September our electricity and everything will go. We have a big inflation, so if this don't stop, I'm very afraid that it will be more worse. So the solution, many different solutions and different steps, and I will repeat again, who will start first and who has the biggest interest for
Yes, sir. Who
that?
will start first? Nadaji, Dr. Nadaji,
Yes.
who will start first? What is your guess on that?
So, who will start first? For me, I think that China is leading, but I think that before China, then USA.
Do you think is it happening or it is will it happen in future? What you are expecting? Third World War.
I'm not expecting a happy future, really, because I know what is war. We had war before 20 years in my country. It is hard, and for these people, and I have a lot of friends in Ukraine. We are helping a lot. We have many immigrants who are in my country now. They are already going to school. They are working. We are helping the people. But I don't know really how will this finish. I don't have a good feeling. I don't have a good feeling for good results. And what are accepting our generation in this time? It is really clear that there is no safety, and bad news every day. A lot of fear, a lot of tension. So really not good situation. When you think, and you need to think on that, because that is something that if the war start, there will be no country who will not have. Who will not be there involved. You know, my country, we are a former country, former Republic of Yugoslavia, and here on this territory, it is like example. We have Serbia and Croatia. Serbia is on the side of Russia, and we are on the side of Ukraine. So we have a big already now the situation with the gas, with the rice, with the oil, when many things we have, we feel that, and I don't know. I said my country and the countries around me are not in a good position,
Yes,
because
Nadaji.
we are on different
Yes,
sides.
But let us see the perception of Professor Dr. Parin Somani, because he roams all nations. He is in touch with many nations and he has studied the mindset of many nations. Let us hear from Dr. Parin Somani about the war between Russia and Ukraine, and how close are we to Third World War. What is your opinion?
I would say Third World War is not okay. How do we not? According to me, what I feel officially state, the war in Ukraine was far more dangerous than anything. So Europe has seen since the end of World War II, including the Balkan Wars of the 1990s. According to CNN sources, the Ukraine president has pledged to negotiate directly with the Russian president. He warned that a third world war can come if the peace isn't reached between the two countries. You see, in order to end this war that started when Russia invaded Ukraine on the 24th of February. So negotiation between the two leaders are vital. That's the first thing. And the second thing, this is only war can end if the negotiations between the two leaders can go very well. Even if we look at the conflict resolution, a mediator is a key. So in instance, Turkey has emerged as a key mediator in the conflict. However, if Putin is not ready to meet Zelensky, then seizing another world war will become difficult. However, there is a hope that a ceasefire agreement will be implemented in due course. But it is worrying that Zelensky, who is the Ukrainian's president, has evoked a warning about the World War III. So I think he already quoted on NBC News, if you remember, that the World War may have already started. Peace talks.
That's what I'm thinking. It seems to be like that.
But the progress is imperative. So we need to see the results. So it's hard. It's very, very hard.
Very heart-touching things are happening in Russia and Ukraine, but no one is caring. But we'll see from the perception of Professor Dr. Vijay Carlin, ma'am, that first question is about Russia and Ukraine war. How do you see, ma'am? And the second question is, how far we are from Third World War? Any guess? Over to you.
Yes. It is nothing but mere dominance. Russia has given the statements that is not true. That Ukraine is developing its nuclear weapons to protect its country, it has invaded. But it all turned into false. And as Parin ma'am said, 24th February 2014, the war started, and many tried to bring truce between the two countries, but it is turned into failure. And slowly, one after the other countries joining. US, China is looking at. But the previous experience of Second World War, how devastating it was and how many were killed, millions of people, and their lives were in worst situation. And Hiroshima, Nagasaki is the best example. And still the human in that area is still not having a prosperous life. With these examples, many of the people know, the leaders also know, especially every country has nuclear weapons. And if this Third World War starts, not that leaders will survive, but every human being, the total world will be in a perishing state. So everyone knows the fact and reality. So UN also is there. I'm sure it will definitely take part, and every citizen of nation knows the impact of the World War, and many are survived. And the history also spoke about the World War and the worst situation of the human being. And humankind has to survive. I'm sure many of the philanthropists and educators and great leaders, global leaders will take part in bringing truce between the two countries. I'm sure I'm a visionary person. Definitely, I've checked the energies also. I notice definitely it will calm down, and there will not be any kind of Third World War. I can tell very assuringly, because many humanitarian are looking forward and working, and UN especially, its forces also, security forces also working, and they're looking at the international peace and harmony. There is their criteria. I'm sure many of the countries, leaders and the humanitarian people work bringing truce between the two countries. There will not be any kind of Third World War, though they declare it will not turn up into Third World War, I'm sure.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a really wonderful answer, wonderful positive answer. Because we have been sensing that with the advent of this Russia and Ukraine conflict, we are feeling that already we have started knowingly or unknowingly that Third World War. But with your answer, it gives some strength, and it gives us some positive vibes. Really, if there is no Third World War, really all the world people feel very happy, because that is what required. Because even because of Russia and Ukraine war, some economic crisis is happening in several nations. So see what will happen if World War takes place. So really, Such a great answer, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, to prevent all these wars and all, we have United Nations. But we don't know exactly what it is doing at present. As per former president of US, Donald Trump once said, this United Nations is meant for celebrations and awards, etc., etc. So he said that United Nations is not doing its job properly. That's what the comment of Donald Trump when he was the president of US. So what do you say, Dr. Nada? What is your opinion? Do you think UN is perfectly doing its duty or not in preventing wars and conflicts? What do you say? What is your opinion?
I'm sure that United Nations are giving and doing a lot because the mission of United Nations is to make the contributions. Because it is a organization that government organization that needs to and peace and violence is on the first place for the United Nations. So I'm not I don't believe that what Donald Trump said. I'm sure that they are making a lot and for the peace for the nation and giving how much they can give. I'm sure that the United Nations is working.
That's so great. That's so great.
Because
Yes.
United Nations is we in each one field, not only for the peace. We know that it is a humanitarian organization and it is working for the charities for the young generation.
The idea want to be accepted, but in preventing the war between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
That's what.
But I will add something else. When we talk about the World War III or something that Ukraine cannot do nothing without Europe is supporting Ukraine. But NATO, if Ukraine needs to be a member of NATO. So there we have then Europe, NATO, USA on one side, and on another side we have Russia, China, and other countries there. So I think for Ukraine the most important thing is to be a member of NATO now. If she wants to, if she wants to survive, because we know that Russia has biggest force, much weapon, everything, military and all.
Parin ma'am, what is your opinion in implementing UN? Hello.
Yeah.
Parin ma'am, are you there?
Yes,
Can you say role of United Nations in preventing wars and conflicts? What do you say? Is it doing its job perfectly or not? Up to the mark.
Okay. According to the United Nations themselves, they are an international organization that was founded in 1945. So this was after the Second World War by 51 countries. The UN are committed to maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations, better living standards, and human rights. They work to prevent conflict and help parties in conflicts to make peace. They deploy peacekeepers, and create the condition to allow peace to hold and flourish. They do recognize that their activities often overlap and should reinforce one another to be effective. So I would say this is the role of United Nations in the world peace.
Parin ma'am, what is your answer in this question?
Yes, United Nations meant for international peace and security and resolving the conflicts and trying its best level to find the resolutions for the conflicts and see that harmony of the people are maintained. And we know the role of the United Nations. It's never forget its responsibility, as Trump said, but maybe it has celebrated because of the victory as it has worked in maintaining peace. So peacekeeping is the main responsibility of the UN. And we know during COVID time, UN worked well and supported the humankind by providing proper vaccinations. So vaccines to every country, and the lives of the people helped to have a better life. So I feel that UN never forget its responsibility, and definitely UN will look into the resolve the problem and see the truce will be developed between the two countries. I'm sure it works efficiently and effectively, and there will not be any kind of war. This will be subsided very soon by the action of the United Nations.
Thank you for that answer. Yes, now the present scenario, the only power that can prevent all the wars in the world, it is only United Nations. If it can take it as its job, really it can be done because it has such power. Of course, we all hope that it is doing in that direction because we can see. But what people are expecting is 100% results because the war started few months ago and still continuing. So we are thinking something in negative aspect. So anyway, we hope for the best. But let us see, not the United Nations, not government. What is the human approach? What is individual approach in establishing peace? This is the last question in this series. So we'll start with the Nadaji. What should we do as a human beings to stop all these wars?
This is really a topic for the science, for the researchers. We know that we live in this modern time, and for each one is clear that life today is not safe. Even not only for us, for the future generations. We know we have experience. We know that we have every day that bad news are facing today. If we will say that it is good, that will be very ironic because we today have a lot of serious problems, even war and other. So what today's science and technology can make, they are working in many fields for the basic human problems. What it means, there is no doubt that that it will increase some the progress. We can say that there must be something is really wrong with the progress and development. If we talk about the progress and development, we are monitoring that, and this science and technology also have consequences on the future of humanity. You see, this is the example. Modern technology, high-end technology brings this weapon. Can say this weapon is coming from this field. So you see that is very bad, and if we think about that weapon, that things, we see that the humanity, we are losing the touch with many human aspects. So science and technology is creating that today, and it cannot be stopped. It will be more worse. So from that humanic approach, even we think about like humans, that our voice need to be heard. We cannot do nothing. We cannot, like individual, we cannot do nothing. We need, I can say that only thing is that that help, but the moral help and our love and the things what we have inside of us, because we are not an organization, we like an individual. What can we do? What can I do for this? But we are doing another actions, so I can say that we are really working for the humanitarian. We are volunteering. We are sending help for the poor people. We have a lot of all these non-government organizations from which we are part, and also Sir Raja, your organization is working a lot on this humanitarian approach, and we have a lot of events, conferences, and this is also a way to show how can we make actions. We are making actions on this way because we are not using weapon. The weapon is our heart and our brain and our the things what we are doing, our health. So I think that our contribution is really, really big for this world on the global level, and we will keep doing these things what we can because I said I have a lot of friends. What I do to my friends every day, I write to them, I send them a message of support, and say everything will be okay, have a strength, pray. So that is the thing what we are doing, and that is I can say that is that humanic approach. I start from the science, from the technology, because science and technology is rapidly growing, and if we go on that part, what is happening? We have weapons, we have that what is not good from that side, but from our side we have a big heart, we have a big soul, and I think that is the most important thing for us.
Thank you, Nadaji. Thank you so much. Now we'll go to Dr. Parin Somani, ma'am. Ma'am, what do you say? How can we stop these wars? What is human approach to prevent all these wars? Not UN, not governments, but as a human being, what is our responsibility in establishing peace?
Okay, first of all, what I would say that initially, I think education is a key towards attaining world peace and a global humanitarianism where we all can work together. That's the number one. Each individual needs to play their part and act with compassion while leading ethical and honest lives. There is a universal responsibility placed on each one of us to serve humanity, and this is a vital approach towards attaining world peace. I believe that by working together, we can make a global change and we can overcome, resulting in happy society. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last but not the least, Professor Dr. Vijay Kalyan, ma'am. Over to you for a human approach to prevent all these wars.
Compassion is the key for peace. So every human being have to develop compassion, empathy, sympathy. These are the traits have to develop. And parents need to develop such traits in the minds of the children. So we need to be role model as they are the future citizens of every nation. So these traits, many of the children are forgetting these traits and they're turning up into anti-social evil elements and working for the dominance that I need to be on the great heights. Such kind of selfish attitude has to be erased from the minds of the children especially. And elders need to be educated, as ma'am said, that science and technology, yes, science and technology can be utilized as a weapon in a betterment of the humankind as well as in the worsening state of the humankind. But we educated, the global leaders are all well qualified and well educated, and they knew the impact of this science and technology. But even then, they're trying to utilize the science and technology not for the development and the flourishment of the nations, but trying its best level to showcase its talent, its skills, and the strength that they have so many nuclear weapons. So that may lead to nuclear war. So everyone can have the nuclear weapons to protect their country, but not to declare war and declare the dominance on other country. So no individual has any right to have the dominance. As we say, equality of humankind is very important. Male and female has to be shown equality. So when we are working on gender equality, why every human being, one human being has to be oppressed, one human being has to be dominated? that nature has to be erased from the minds of the people. Every religion, whether Hinduism, Christianity, Muslim, Jainism, whatever the religions on this earth, they all speaks about peace and harmony. So when it inculcates and educates the people to have peace and harmonious life, and from where we have this kind of act and attitude of declaring dominance on others. So it is very pathetic situation, being educators also concentrating and focusing on the dominant nature. So that has to be erased, and every human being have to develop the traits which I said earlier. The empathy and compassionate and kindness is important. So we never think about declaring war. And because of the war, many of the people losing their lives, a precious life God has bestowed. That is the blessings received by humankind. So, but unfortunately, many of the millions of the people are losing lives. And it's very worse situation that humankind has to think about the life of others. Every organism, not a human being, every organism has every right to live on this planet when it has given birth on this planet. So what about the humankind, human beings who are very precious, created by God? So human beings have to think, live, let's live, and let others live a peaceful life. That is very important. So I'm confident it is a responsibility of every human being, not by the government or by the union, but organizations are developed by human beings. So every human being, it is a responsibility of every human being to establish peace on this planet and make the planet more, help the planet to march ahead in a flourishing state, and make every human being to lead a harmonious and peaceful life. So not only the organization, I feel that responsibility of every individual, especially parents educating their children, it is also a great responsibility by establishing peace on this planet. I'm sure every human being has human heart. I'm sure even the global leaders have their families. So definitely they want their family to live. I'm sure they think about the humankind, and there will not be any kind of war in future. There will be a great peace because many philanthropic people and educators and many organizations working on the establishment of the peace. Thank you very much, sir.
Fantastic, that's fantastic. Really, at the end of this session,
I will only add one my conclusion on Mrs. Caroline's great speech, because this is really great what she say, that I can say that solving the human problems through transforming human attitudes. That is the conclusion of Miss Caroline's great speech. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Really a splendid day, because you three have come with different perceptions. Because I can see Nada as an international diplomat, because she projected her views in an international diplomat. Because actually there is no China and USA in the context, but she was able to bring it to the context, and she justified perfectly with the suitable reasons. Really, Nadaji, we say hats up to your foresight, because you didn't say the present things. You predicted the future based on the present things. So really, you are a perfect international diplomat. Hope there will be a day when we meet as in you. We'll see you in that role. Thank you so much for the beautiful answers. And we need not say anything about Dr. Parin Somani ji, because she is an international academician. Because she has put all one side the facts, statistics, and what is happening. She has showed the history, she has showed the present, and she has given beautiful remedies to solve all these problems. She proved that she is an international academician and international expert in all these. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the beautiful answer and the beautiful picturization and presentation. Because actually it takes hours together to explain, but you have narrated in few minutes. Actually, there is a disturbance in your mobile phone. Otherwise, it would look very beautiful, because we know when you have given a right place to speak. But still,
I
you did a
think,
fantastic
Raja,
job.
you are so happy that you have three famous women
Yes.
today.
And the third side, really, it's a humanitarian touch. This is really so amazing, because one person can destroy the entire nation or entire nations or the world or the planet here. Because for Second World War, we can take Hitler because no humanity. Today, if you instill the same humanity in Putin, the world will be safer. Of course, it is already predicted, Professor Dr. Vijay Kalin, because she is the woman of humanity, humanitarian touch, and spiritual. If you observe her speech from the beginning to here, she included her spiritual touch also. Really, when this humanity, spiritual touch go together, really it makes wonders, because an individual's responsibility. I feel very happy because you have brought one solution from 3 different perspectives. Really, it's a very happy program, and I'm very happy to be here. Actually, Elizabeth Lucas ma'am has also joined. She is somewhere at the hospital as an administrator. She was unable to speak, but no problem. She has joined. We are very happy, and thank you.
But we will say for her that yes, we can, yes, we will can, and yes, we would. So
yes.
That is for our dear Dr. Queen Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Times India TV, viewers, thank you, Excellencies, for joining this beautiful program, War versus Peace. In this war versus peace, peace is conquered. Peace is conquered by peace, and peace conquered war. So, thank you so much.